Hi, how's everybody doing today? This is Sean, and I'm here with a response video to Sports Reckoning. What's going on in the sports card collecting hobby? Because I had a channel, and I showed people how to collect sports cards, how to store them, what things could be valuable in the future, and expose grifters in the hobbies that were taking advantage of my friends and causing all kinds of shit going on in the hobby, which I had a way to fix this problem about 20 years ago. And it's called a three strike, system. And basically, my idea was this: that if you got caught dealing shady, doing bad business with people in the hobby industry, you would get with the people that run the nationals and stuff like that. And then the first time they got caught, depending on what crimes they committed in the community and the law that they should be in jail for, because it's not regulated in the sports card hobby. There hasn't been any kind of regulations. There's no laws. There's major money laundering going on, major criminality. You're dealing with, okay, to put things straight, the kind of people that are in the sports card collecting industry are guys like Steve Cohen and Nate Turner. And Steve Cohen, just to give you an idea of what kind of person this guy is, in 2013, Cohen founded this company called SAC, Capital Advisors, and they got fined. They pled guilty to inside trading, and got fined. They had to pay out 1.8 billion dollars, I think it was, and 900 million. It was like forfeiture, and then forfeiture. I'm sorry, and then like the other 900 million was in fines. So, and then this is in August 2022. I'm sorry, August 2nd of 2022. Uh, Steve pulled all his finances out of cryptocurrency, and then 3 months later we have the biggest scandal in American history as far as cryptos and financials. The only thing bigger than what this guy did was what Ken Griffin did in 2008 when he crashed the entire stock market. So this is the kind of criminality that goes on behind the scenes of people that own like the Mets. They own your PSA grading company. They have their own auction house with Ken Golden auctioned. He sold the auction house to him. So there's all kinds of money laundering, all kinds of criminality going on, and these dudes know this. They're supposed to be a sports card radio station that tells you about crimes that are being committed, to look after the community and things like that. And they go after things that are really they're important, what he's saying, but they're not at the bottom of what's actually going on and how people are getting away with this stuff. Is There's a little known fact that this has been going on since they started doing boxing baseball cards, okay, and sports cards. Certain boxes have big hits in them, and the first release hits are serial numbered, and they all have the same kind of serial number. For instance, like in hockey, the 201s, when they first come out, is the most valued card in modern day history, because they are the shortest print rookie cards out in modern day history, and that's for hockey. And a lot of people don't know that. That's why Connor McDavid's rookie card's like $5,000 in a PSA 10 container, and like Austin Matthews is like 3,000, because they're rare and these are elite players, and they're going to break. They're going to break all the records in hockey basically. So when the 201s come out, there's a J series, and they usually have the 20. They usually have the 201. So Upper Deck Series 1s, when they first come out, that's when the 201s are out. And that's the most valuable card in the series because it's the number one pick. And as I said, it's short prints. So that goes on with hobby boxes. That goes on with everything. Flawless. Everything is numbered. They know where the hits are at. And they can send cases. They don't go out like people got the misconception. I'm sorry, people are confused about how Backyard Breaks is actually getting these big hits, and have millions of dollars in famous hits that other people have been chasing for months, and they win it every time. And everybody's like, well, they're just they're lucky and whatever. No, what they're doing is they don't buy boxes off people. This is where the misconstrued, where people are getting confused and they're getting misconstrued. And the fact of the matter is this: they buy cases, and then the cases have numbers on those cases to let the manufacturer what hits are in there. So there's to be a series of boxes, and if it's just a short print like something like Flawless, there's less cases to deal with, but they know what hits are in each case, so they know that. So when they send them over to Backyard Breaks or whoever, the people that get those cases know what's in them cases and have the odds of them higher cards in certain cases over other breakers. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but all your card shops have been knowing this since the beginning of the 80s and 90s. These people have been holding back the good boxes and putting out all the mediocre hits on on their shelf. So this is nothing new. So let's hear what John has to say, because he rips into this guy a little bit, and he should get some attention. But he does attack these people at a personal level, which I don't agree with. But I just want to explain what's going on here, what kind of criminality that's going on. And as I said, I have an idea to make this right. I started explaining it, but I got sidetracked explaining to you what kind of people they're involved in this sports card community, because they're involved in everything. A lot of them are, more than half of them are Freemasons, and they control the money and they control everything. They're in sports cards. They're in hobby. They own fucking baseball teams, football teams, basketball teams. They own everything through illegal stock market practicing. And this dude thinks he's going to expose, people at that level, and because of he's got a fucking radio station on fucking YouTube or something like that. When there's no way that he's going to do any of that, because you're dealing with people that would literally fucking take your life. I mean, if you expose them at levels where they're going to be, we have proof against them and shit. So, they're frauds. They're not trying to do real journalism or anything like that. They're just trying to get their name on YouTube and actually make a name for themselves by going after things that they know they're never going to do anything about. Because the fact of the matter is, sorry, my camera's messing up. The fact of the matter is, you're dealing with billionaire, powerful people. They're the most powerful people in the stock market. They're the most powerful people on the planet when it comes to this kind of shit. And you're trying to expose them for sending fucking rigged boxes of cards for breakers when they're doing $100 million grifts a day.
John, this is my show, Sports Reckoning. So this is one of those loser butt brothers over there at Sports Card Radio. Ryan. Oh, he's a fine Irish lad.
I thought his name was Brandon. I thought his name was Brandon or Colin or something like that. I don't know if that's his real name. I don't. I heard him say his name before.
Okay, so
now my buddy John is trolling these people because he wants his story out there that he has a lot of evidence to prove that Michael Jackson's real parents are Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, and I've looked into his claims, and I don't see anything that can debunk him. I'm not 100% sure of what he's saying to be true, but I'm saying there's a high probability in the 95% range. At least there is a connection with Diana Ross and Michael Jackson that appears to be a mother and son relationship. I'll just say that, and it just appears that way because I see how other mothers look at their children, and how how my mom looked at me and stuff, and everybody, because everybody has their mom and what have you. Hopefully, So how that relationship is. So that's the vibe I get off of that.
Now look at. He's talking about the code. Now look at, if there's a code on the stuff, it's like, it was pretty obvious to understand that those codes were going to have inside information if you had access to what the code meant, right?
There's 100% fact on that code. I'm telling you, I got unopened packs of 2016 hockey that I already, I took a bunch of boxes at once and like blaster boxes, hobby boxes, and all kinds of stuff. And we mix all the packs together. And as soon as we pull one or two Young Guns out of the pack, we'll end up going to the putting the extra packs that we didn't open on the in a place later on where I'll just save them and open them later, you know. So I've been doing that for a long time. I don't sell the unopened packs. I usually sometimes get them graded, because if they're high end stuff and they're not and they're graded in a PSA container, it can make them very valuable. So that's what I do. So the fact of the matter is this: there's so much stuff going on with criminality in these things in the hobby. It's money laundering. Of course, these people know where the hits are at. They make money off the views. So
it's like it was pretty obvious to understand that those codes were going to have inside information if you had access to what the code meant, right? Or if you're breaking all kinds of stuff, if you're breaking all kinds of boxes, then of course that if you're looking at the codes that you're going to be able to figure something out, right? So what that means, it's a cautionary tale that says you don't buy boxes that have that coding on it, like especially from like breakers, or you don't buy them from card shops. You know, your local LCS, you do not buy them from them because they can't be trusted and shit. I mean, just look at like Loot Box, right? Look at Loot Box TV. They open up crap box after crap box after crap box. Don't you think the Loot Box would be smart enough to figure out now that they were being fed crap product? You know, they probably fed them, like I think they got Justin Herbert stained glass, right, early on and stuff, which that's a Prism Panini a Prism box, you know, which I don't know if the codes are on that thing either.
the codes are on all the boxes. They're all everybody. That's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. It's not just whatever code is on that box, on the case is where the hits are at, and then each case is numbered, you know, and then it's sequentially numbered to that case. And the products are how many packed in that particular case. And when they send them out to the sports card shops, and they send them out to the breakers, the people just open the boxes. But if they know what the codes are on the boxes, which they all of them do, they're spending millions of dollars on these products a fucking year, dude. These people are going to get hooked up, okay? And it's going to bring more attention to the hobby, and it's going to get more people to spend more money, and it's just a big grift because what kind of people you're dealing with. This is baby shit that this guy's doing with these fucking people in PSA. I mean, in the sports card collecting hobby. Nate Turner's playing with you folks. So is Steve Cohen. They literally run like high level grifting that even Jeff Wilson would be in all that. That's why Jeff Wilson's trying to be buddies with these people, because he knows if he gets in with Steve Cohen, well, after he better realize there's a good possibility that these people are going to be facing some criminal charges in the future on the stock market shorting going on here, because after what just happened with FTX and how this whole thing got just all got exposed, all these every one of these people, these hedge funds, all these companies are going to be asked to bring up the what they have. They better have not shorted their stocks. That's all I got to say, because they're going to liquidate them. They're going to find out how many shares they have of retail shares that they're already sold and promised. So everybody's going to be held accountable. This is good. This is the biggest thing to happen to us in America, in the world. This FTX thing exposing itself, because people that have money in the stock market, you've been cheated for decades. These people have been selling shares of things they do not own, and now it's your time. So, I'm not a financial advisor, but I've been buying AMC and 8 and GameStop for quite some, for at least 8 or 9 years before this stuff even went down. So, anything that happens, I'm set. And if some reason these stocks go up to $50,000, $10,000 a share, or some outlandish amount because they can't cover the shorts, I'm going to be doing very well, and so are you, my subscribers and my friends, because we're going to be doing a lot of things together, and we're going to make this place a better place to live as best as I can with the money that I make. So I appreciate everybody watching, and I just wanted to let everybody know, you're just breathing, these people are just breathing hot air out of their mouth. They're never going to expose anything. They're not telling anybody anything that they can't figure out themselves later on. that these boxes are all rigged and scripted, because everything is rigged and fucking scripted. We're in the devil's playground, folks. There isn't anything legit and honest when it comes to money and people investing in any of that. They're trying to get your shit and they're trying to mind fuck you. And John does good work over there, but he does go after people like at personal levels that I wouldn't do, because I don't know these folks. I mean, there are people like AIH, he's different, and I like him, and I stuck up for him for years. People would make fun of his appearance and stuff, and I don't think that's cool, because if you want to attack somebody, attack them on what they're saying and not how they look. And I don't agree with people being blocked, like he's blocking this fella here. But he is saying stuff about him and calling him homosexual and stuff, and he's not. I don't think, like he's just goofing with him. But I understand that kind of talk because I'm 50, and back in my time when I was growing up, we would rag on each other and we'd call each other names. But he doesn't know this guy personally, unless he does. He shouldn't say that stuff about him. But that's his right to do that. And it's Ryan's right to block him, I guess, if he feels offended by that. But I would have an open dialogue. I wouldn't block anybody, because if Ryan was smart, he'd take the block off and let John speak his mind, and let his viewers that are subscribers that see John's comment see if they agree or disagree with him. And if Ryan's such a great journalist, or he's getting to the bottom of all this stuff, use your journalism integrity to find out who John is. Find out about his story, and find out if there's any legitimacy to it, and if you can debunk his shit, do it, and that's how you fucking get back at these people. By staying quiet and letting people say shit about you, you're just going to make them madder, and they're going to keep saying worse shit about you. It's either expose them or say, hey, this fellow's right, we should give it a little more attention. This is worldwide breaking information, and it could change society. So, but also, that kind of stuff could get people killed, too. You're not dealing with regular folks, and I think John is kind of naive about the fact that he has that kind of information, and it could be life-threatening. Okay, so you have to watch, and this dude has a child, and a family and stuff, so that's why some of these people are reluctant to help you, John. I'm just trying to be, the person who's just trying to use, like, empirical thinking, and just, and once you eliminate the possible, whatever's left over is probably the answer to the problem that you're trying to solve. That's how I look at things, and I don't want you to be mad at each other, and I don't want you saying nasty stuff about each other. I like both you guys, and yes, they're weak. They seem like they're spoiled kids, young 40-year-old guys or 30-year-old people that have been nurtured by their family, and that's their life. That ain't me, and that ain't John, obviously. So, to each thy own. Let them be who they are. But if they're not trying to make any money off of anybody, they're not sitting here trying to sell sports cards or pumping and dumping. So I give them credit about that. And AIH doesn't seem like he's doing that either, pumping or dumping. But everybody has their own way of looking at stuff, and everybody has their own way of trying to bring out the truth. And I think we should all get together, because we're all intelligent in our own ways, and get together to come up with a solution to ban the bad players in the hobby. A 3-strike system, like I say. Get with the people that run the Nationals, so these people can't do no business at the Nationals. Get the word out. We should start a magazine or a book that let people know the bad players in the game, and then after 3 strikes, you just totally boycott them. Like they can't do no business with nobody. You blackball them. So that's just an idea, and that's the extremes we have to take to get this hobby cleaned up. Because you can't let people go around ripping off people. You can't, and then having little kids not want, be part of the community and have the ability to collect things and enjoy things like we did growing up. And we have to watch over the kids because there's pedos and shit out there, unfortunately. So we have to be adults in the room and watch over the children, and be adults in the room to hold people accountable for criminality. We can all come up with a fair system, and I mean, everybody's involved in this shit. I'm going to make a whole video dedicated to exposing all these grifters in the hobby and what I think should happen to them, and I think a fair punishment, and I think we should have some type of regulations within the community to blackball bad actors and people that are doing bad business and grifting people out of money. So that's my opinion. And maybe you agree with me, or maybe you don't, but we have to agree on one thing. Something has to be done, because the level of criminality that's going on in this world and inside of our hobby with these fucking stockbroking criminals that should be fucking arrested, for inside trading and all kinds of shit that they're doing and shortening our stocks and making people suffer because our shares aren't, our money isn't straight, because they're stealing hundreds of millions of dollars in fucking money laundering through sports cards and baseball teams and football teams and wherever else they can put their fucking money to launder it. It's criminality to the highest levels, folks. So I appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe, and go check out Sports Card Radio over there, and also go check out Sports Cards Reckoning, and see what they say, and see if you agree with them, and just be open minded, and try to see what you think about it, and give your fucking opinion about it, and be truthful. And the same here, let me know what you think. Should we have some kind of inside regulation in these hobbies and other industries to make sure that people are held accountable for stealing people's money? So, once again, I appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe, and we're going to be doing more Rick Descriptive Football Times.